Thank you, Loki, for being here today.
Oh, I think that if you look at the size of the demonstrations that have taken place in this country, it's safe to say that over 1% of the population feel deeply passionate about this issue enough to have taken to the streets in terms of actual numbers of human beings. Of course, we know that it's bigger than that. It's not just hundreds of thousands of people in the country. You have millions of people in the country that feel a deep aversion to the scale of human suffering that they are seeing and the way in which Israel is flouting so many aspects of norms of decency, even in the way that they deal with the Palestinians in Gaza. But on the other side, what you have is a British political elite. You know, at the beginning of this apocalyptic campaign in Gaza, you had the Home Secretary, Suella Braverman, who had stated previously in an interview that she had close family members currently in the Israeli military. You also have, of course, the Prime Minister Rishi Sunak, who his father founded the company Infosys, which deals with biometric data. His wife still has tens of millions of pounds worth of investments in the company. Now, the company has 200 employees within the political unit of Israel. It has several Israeli subsidiaries, and it even had a director, Yuri Levine, who formerly was in Unit 8200 in the Israeli military. Now, in any other situation, were this to be a company that had a figure that had emerged from Russian intelligence, for example, heading it, and Rishi Sunak had this connection to the company, it would certainly be problematized in a way that this connection to Infosys simply has not been. Infosys signed a memorandum of understanding with the State of Israel to deepen their connection. You look at several Israel lobby groups in this country directly receive government funding. You also have the example of Lucy Frazier. Lucy Frazier is the Minister for Culture in this country, supposedly, as she said, in charge of the BBC. Well, before she became an MP in this country, she interned at the Ministry of Justice in Israel. Have you ever heard of anything so preposterous as that? That somebody can go from interning a foreign government and then become a minister in another government without any type of serious critical analysis of that within the media. It just simply doesn't happen. And so you have this discord between where the government is on this and where the people in the country are.
To your point, actually, the UK's complicity in all this has obviously been recognized by South Africa, which has implicated the UK government in its legal action that is currently unfolding at the International Court of Justice. And I'm wondering whether you're generally optimistic of these proceedings, or are you cautiously optimistic? How do you feel about these proceedings as a means of finally being some justice for the Palestinian people?
I would say it can't be viewed as a panacea. It will not answer all of our problems, but it's definitely a win-win. So I would say I'm cautiously optimistic. I think an interim ruling will be delivered. I think to call for Israeli withdrawal. In terms of the final verdict, we have several years to wait. Others who know far more about these things have indicated that they think it's likely that the ruling will be in the direction that we would want. But ultimately, this is all part of the dying convulsions of the Zionist idea. It's becoming more and more difficult to maintain cruelty on an industrial scale, which the Zionist project necessitates. And I think it's one aspect of that idea becoming less and less sustainable and viable.